Mosaic is reporting earnings, and the thing about it is we bought our calls wholesale. We bought our puts wholesale. And basically on the Mosaic trade, what we decided to do was that we had bought in 40 of the $50 puts right here at 16 pennies. We also paid 74 pennies for the $55 puts as well. On the upside of Mosaic, we got these at the wholesale bid at $1.57, I believe. And what I want everyone to understand is you can't trade options in after hours. So here, we bought 10 contracts here, $1.57. Here we go. What we did here was that we bought 10 of these puts at the low of the day. Well, it was 66 pennies, but during the cycle time where we could get it, we got it at that price of 74 pennies. Not to mention that we got 40 of these put options at 16 pennies. Now, if it goes down, we really make a lot of money. But then again, if this thing wants to spike in after hours and tomorrow and does a good report, then these calls, what people need to know and what we're going to preview here on the video is I'm going to bring up another chart outside. This is going to be the tick chart. So when they report, you're going to see that move. Here is the $60 call. The retail public was up here. This was the retail price on the options. For you options wannabes, this is where you get killed. Buying in here. As soon as the market maker sold you the supply was bought, down it went. Our entry, as you can see right here, is $1.57. I am wholesale. I am wholesale. MMTs. That means that if I would have bought 10 contracts, even at $4, thinking I was getting a deal, well, look at the amount of money I saved. If they were up here at $5 and I'm buying down here, you do the math. 10 contracts only cost me $1,570. If I bought 10 contracts up here at $5, the same 10 contracts would have cost me $5,000. Well, there's a big difference between $5,000 retail and, once again, people, $1,570 wholesale. $3,500 savings wholesale in the entry. So, folks, if I'm an option trader and I buy $1 million worth of options wholesale during the year, and if I went my worst case and my worst nightmare would mean that I would sell them back at 25% for an option, that's nothing. I'd make $250,000. I mean, that's even without me. That's just wholesale selling back to the public. That's the way it is. Now, we all know what we got. Now, let's go over here to the after hours chart. Let's go to Mosaic, MOS. All right? We're going to be looking for a big knee jerk. And after we get the knee jerk, first things that's going to happen, folks, you're going to get that knee jerk, that headline number, that big knee jerk up or down. Then after that, folks, you're going to have a conference call. But I believe on this one, the conference call isn't until tomorrow morning. You hear me? And that's the way it goes. Here it goes. I got a live print. Low was 58.01. Right now, printing at 58.70. And I do not have a report. And the conference call won't be till tomorrow, unfortunately, until 10 o'clock. So that'll be 7 o'clock in the morning. However, we're waiting on the headline numbers, and I do not have a headline report. I do not have a headline number on Mosaic, other than they simply, after hours stuff. Oh, another thing that people need to know is our limit order to buy just so happens to be at $52.50. Why? To cover volatility now we're popping up to $59.50. So you just went, and I want everyone to understand earnings. You were just at 58.01. I showed it on this tape. And it popped. And I don't have a headline number yet. So who knows exactly what the number is other than you got a pop off of 5801, and that's $1.49 pop. I've got a preliminary number. Hold on, everyone. Whatever I said, it came in at 67 pennies. It's 5 pennies short of the 72 cents consensus. Revenues were $2.19 billion, so they did okay on the rev, because they were supposed to come in at $1.97 billion, and that's the headline. And, you know, we're not tanking really per se, but then again, we're below the price. So basically, learning how to sell short that wick is the right thing to do, because they popped it, they sold it short, and now we're coming down, and we're going to find out what some of the key metrics was and what Mosaic does. Remember that Mosaic is a potential buyout candidate. Here we go, folks. I'm going to wait for an update to see what we can get MMTs as far as that preliminary number. Remember, unfortunately, in this particular name, an earnings season started today. And the thing about it is, it's light all week. Instead of Alcoa being here today, they put this one here today. Alcoa will report on Thursday, so MMTs know it. But MMTs, today has been such a wonderful day because we were able to call that shorts out of that market and this and that. We're going to be updating all of that. Right now, I'm taking down to 57.5. I got that $55 put. That means that if this tank breaks below 55 tomorrow on a gap down, we don't have all of the conclusionary fact. The findings, the facts, and the conclusionary part of this is yet to be settled because we don't have enough data to tell you yet. But one thing that we will tell you is that Mosaic is down. You've seen the live entries. We're going to take a look here. The other part of this trade is to be able to sell short the name to go along with your puts. Okay? So that way you'll be making money, but we're going to need to find out a little bit more other than we're moving down and we have the limit order at 52.50, and this is that after hours breakdown on Mosaic. 57.23 being the low. Printing right now, my bid is 57.71 by 57.93. Here we go. What we would like to do is tell the MMTs that the stock is printing here at 60 by 70 cents. Okay. Reports earnings of 67 pennies per share. Now, that is 5 cents worse than 72 pennies as expected by Reuters. But here's a key. Revenues rose 50.2% year to year to $2.19 billion versus the $1.97 billion. So definitely the revenue number's okay as far as that goes. But let's take a look at what Mosaic reports on the Q1 phosphate sales volume of 3.1 million versus 2.8 and 3.2 million company guidance. That was their previous guidance. Reports the DAP pricing of 431 versus 410 to 440 per ton company guidance. Now, Mosaic volumes of phosphates segments are expected to range from 3.3 to 3.6 million tons for Q2. Mosaic realized the DAP price FOB plant for Q2 is estimated to be 430 to 460 per ton. Total sales of volumes for the potash segment. Okay. Now let's take a look at this. Expected to range 1.6, 1.9 million tons for Q2 Mosaic. Realized MOP price FOB plant for Q2 is estimated to be in the range of the 310 and the 340 per ton. The recent upward momentum in potash prices will begin to be realized in the fiscal third quarter results. So there's a lot of little hogwash going on here. However, the thing that we're really going to look at is this number is not going to be enough to do it. So we know that. The Q1 and the Q2 and the outlook from previous guidance is that I don't see any real expansion in the output. Now, one would think in the commodity space and supply and demand right now. And remember that potash, the symbol POT, that other company, BHP Hilton, wants to buy it very badly. Well, what makes sense to me is why not buy this one? It's a lot cheaper than any other one. What I'm really trying to say at is it makes more sense if that they would at some point in time another M&A activity could occur on this name. I'm not saying that that's happening tomorrow because I didn't say that. I didn't say that that would happen next week. MMTs is who I'm talking to. So innocent bystanders on the video, there is no buy and sell recommendations at all for you, the public that is looking at this. For the MMTs, it's their trading strategy, and that's a whole different deal. So, you know, that's who this video is addressed to, the SMF MMTs. Basically, what we're going to end up doing on the trade is we're going to see that the selling that we see coming out now is there a continuation gap down in the morning. If we take a look at the key pricing action levels below the marketplace in our system, and I can do that right now, it'll populate tomorrow's prices, is if we gap below a certain price, then that would put a stop market orders would get triggered, make the move go down even more rapidly. At that point in time, if we do get a gap below the key pricing levels and stop market orders are triggered from this earnings event, then that would push the put side in pricing up very rapidly, you know, and you would have to sell into that MMTs because you still got to pay $1,570 negative debit still. Does that mean that they take out all of the premium for that $60 call? No, but they could take out. They're going to take more of that call premium away than they are the put, and they're going to give the put premium won't even get that original now. But let's be straight about this. The original knee-jerk on the opening bell of the options is what I'm talking about, MMTs. So let us not be illusioned. And then there will be several different pricing control mechanisms that would come back into play. So it's very important that you learn how to sell the inflated price. The inflated price. So how do I know that the option is inflated on the opening and then gives all the premium back and could even go negative and the call side bounces, as you MMTs have been taught in your risk management procedures, in your execution. So that's how we're going to leave this for everyone here now. And we're going to leave that earnings report just like that. Now we're printing at $57.99, and basically we can see where the lows were put in, so that's the kind of spread we got. MMTs down here right above that 57 handle always start at 0.1 penny and higher. You can see that there was almost a $2 move right here in the after hours market. Now, I'm going to conclude this tape, and then I'm going to give an example to MMTs on how and who and what and controls these after-hour markets. So who are the players within the volume here? Who's really owning this or taking advantage of these prices like this move right here? And it's all after-hours movement. But what is really going on here in the tape is what you're going to learn in the next video.